What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of The Hot Mic here on the John Rocha channel. I am John Rocha, joined as always by the Sneider himself, Jeff Sneider. How are you, Jeff?
Hello, Johnny boy. You sound a little distant. You sound a little far away.
God damn it, this again? Hold, please. I thought I selected the right mic. Clearly, I hadn't. There we go. All right, jeez. That's what happens when the cleaners come and they disconnect everything. Well, we're back at it, man. Here, thank you to everybody who's joining us live here a day later than we usually go. But I had some scheduling issues to figure out here this week on the channel. So thank you to Jeff for being flexible as well. But we are here live on a Friday night, end of the week, entertainment news happening. We're going to talk about all of it. But first, a check-in with my friend Jeff Sneider. How are you, Jeff? How are things? How's the entertainment business treating you, man? How are you?
You've got a cleaning person?
We have this is Lindley's thing. She likes a cleaning person who comes once a month to clean the house, the entire house.
All right, well, at least it's once a month, not like once a week. I'm like, you're over there living the high life. My Lord.
Once a week.
I'm the cleaning lady. I'm the cleaning lady in my apartment.
This has been our thing for 7 years. Since we've been together, man. She likes a cleaning person. So this is an expense I have to factor in every month. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm always leaving fumes on the toilet seat. You know what I'm talking about, guys? You know what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking
about? Yikes. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, a week of laughs. I've been going to Netflix's joke events all week.
Oh, nice.
Some free tickets for tonight's show. I'm going tomorrow night, so I'm just a busy boy.
Who's on tonight? Who are you seeing tonight?
If I can get there in time, I'm going to be seeing John Mulaney.
Oh, nice. Who was did Louis already do his set, or is that this weekend? When is that happening?
Louis already did his set.
Okay. So we'll see what happens with how'd that go? Any reactions? Did people like it? What was the situation there?
You think I went? I didn't go to Louis' set.
I thought for sure you get tickets to that one, for God's sake. So that's a shame.
Shane I saw Anthony Jeselnik. I saw Amarillo. So yeah, I mean,
is Anthony funny when he's not on the roast stage, or do you prefer him on the roast?
Incredible. Jeselnik.
Oh, he was. Okay.
Incredible.
Okay. All right. I gotta see.
Did you see some of the Shane Gillis jokes that I shared?
No, I got to take a look at those. You posted some of them. I got to take a look at those.
I still not sent you a comp subscription, dude. Some of these are real bad.
The what? The 70s are real bad? Is that what you said?
Some of these jokes. Do you want me to read some?
Yeah. Go ahead. If we're allowed to, read them, go ahead, my man.
I mean, why not? He told him to, 20,000 people.
All right.
Okay, I'll do some that aren't that bad, but it's like, to really learn about Kevin Hart, we've got to go all the way back. Kevin's ancestors actually came to America on a slave ship in a bottle.
Oh, wow. Ship in a bottle.
In a bottle. That was a good one. Kevin
rolls with this stuff too.
Kevin Hart's so short they're going to have to lynch him from a bonsai tree.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And there were Jewish ones too, guys.
Is Shane Jewish?
Jeff Ross looks like the Jewish monster you'd find if a Palestinian child still had a closet.
Oh my God. He's so brutal, man. Brutal.
More of that stuff. Subscribe to the newsletter. I did put the 10 best jokes in, 5 about Kevin Hart and 5 other ones. I didn't want to spoil all the jokes that Shane shared. He did about 30 jokes.
Is everyone doing a special? Is this all going to be on Netflix?
Yeah, it's going to be live on Netflix. So it's like, don't go read the article if you don't want that experience to be spoiled, because I
gotcha.
About 10 of the jokes, but yeah, they were real bad.
I wonder if next year there should be a live component to this, kind of like, like it's almost like the NBA draft where people show up and do a whole thing. Why not? I mean, if you're going to put your balls out there, let's put our balls out there. I
mean, the Kevin Hart roast is live. That is live.
Yeah, that one I know is live. Yeah. But I think there should be.
There's actually too many events during the Netflix festival that are for public consumption. and it makes getting a ticket. It's like, well, why do I need to get a ticket if I can just listen to the podcast in a week, right? So like Chris Rock podcast with Spade and Carvey, or Ari Emanuel leads the Rushmore podcast with Larry David and Seinfeld. Like, of course, I'd love to be in the room for that, but ultimately, I think Rushmore is going to release that episode.
Yeah, but I say it like Comic-Con. They do, let you sometimes watch the panels live or at Celebration or like I'm saying it could be a YouTube channel and you pay a certain amount, like what they do with Sundance or what they do with the film festivals, where you get to be in the room.
That's not all the titles at Sundance, right? Like they don't make
right. Only certain ones. Yes.
Right. Yeah. They don't really they rarely make the cream of the crop available. You don't want to devalue to me the live experience of it all. Let me ask you this: when you pay a lot of money to go someplace, and then you're like, and by the way, we're live streaming it on Netflix today, aren't you like, well, fuck, I could have just seen this?
No, but I watched. Are you telling me the NFL game we went to together was the same as sitting at home and watching it on TV? There's an element of being in the room that's still worth the value, I think.
Yes, there is. I don't know.
I mean, I get your point. I'm just saying, like, I can understand people who would be upset about it. I don't think I would be upset about it because there's something electric about being in the room. You know what I'm saying? And so that would matter more.
That's, to me, it's like there's something about seeing, and maybe Jeselnik will perform this as a special. Like there's something about being there. And no, it's not. There are no plans for it to stream on Netflix as far as I know.
Right.
Being there last night for Jordan Jensen and Rachel Feinstein, who were much funnier than I thought they would be. Joe List, actually the weak one in the lineup last night, and Sam Morril kind of ran out of time. He had like 20 or 25 minutes when he's the headliner. So it's like you think you're going to get at least 40, 45 minutes from the headliner.
What about Robbie Hoffman? Have you seen her go up yet? I mean, I watched her special the other day on Netflix. She's great. She's very funny. I like her.
No? I mean, she seems like some gay like in small doses. I enjoy her work on Hacks, but I don't know if the stand for me. You
heard it here first. Jeff hates Jewish comics. You heard it here first. Yeah.
Exactly. I thought there are Jewish comics.
That's a good point. Except for Kevin, I think. Wiley says they do it for Coachella and Stagecoach. It's the same thing. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they do. They show some of the sets and stuff like that. So I wonder if there's something to explore. I'm not saying they should. I'm saying it might be, and you might be right, like curating certain ones, not the big top ones, but like you could have the experience, I guess,
Listen, it's been a great festival. It's one of the best things that Netflix
awesome.
Is, all year. I really think LA becomes the comedy mecca. And the tough part is deciding what to go to because there's multiple like cool shows every night.
Yeah. It's just like a Comic-Con or whatever. And look at I was watching Matthew Friend. He did a whole like video of himself and like Ted Sarandos and all these comics are sitting with Bert Kreischer. All these guys are sitting on fucking Sarandos's lawn, and they're just sitting. It's like, wow, this is crazy. This is crazy.
And the brunch, I mean, it's a wild collection of talent for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, there you go. That's our kind of intro catch-up conversation here. We're going to get into things going on in the world of entertainment here in just a second, but I'll remind you all the Streamlabs Super Chats. Those are open. Send in your love. Send in your questions, thoughts, and comments. 2 Super Chats so far. I want to get to 50 today, and then we'll sing a song at the end. We only have 2, but I want to get to 50 today, and then maybe we'll sing a song at the end as a thank you to everybody. So we'll see. But anyway. Jeff, where would you like to start? What are you feeling? Any story you want to jump into, or shall I just
Dealer's choice?
Well, let's start with a couple of things that broke before we got on here, and that is Shawn Levy has himself a new film. This was an exclusive from Boris Kitt on The Hollywood Reporter. He is tackling an original sci-fi movie called Somewhere Out There. This, of course, is coming right after he did the Starfighter film and he did Deadpool and Wolverine. But it is being described there. It's said to be an emotional sci-fi. Somewhere Out There is said to fall into the emotional sci-fi silo and described as being in the vein of Arrival and Denis Villeneuve's alien encounter drama, which Levy produced, and The Atom Project, which he also did as well. The story concerns a grieving father who, after losing his wife, sends a message out into the stars, and something out there starts to talk back. So, Jeff, we're back with the aliens. We just saw a trailer this week with the Burrows, the aliens. Today, there was a release of the files from the Pentagon on the UFO stuff. Disclosure Day is coming. Like, is this the aliens time now? What's your response to this?
Bro,
and Shawn doing an original sci-fi?
Maybe not. Maybe I'm an alien. I don't know.
Would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it certainly would. Shawn Levy, it's a lot of space stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, Adam Project, just like Star Wars, it's a lot. So I would like to see him do something a little bit more grounded.
Mm.
I didn't mind that movie, his adaptation of This Is Where I Leave You.
Oh yeah, I like that movie.
So it's, I don't know. I just like Shawn Levy. Are you really going from Star Wars backwards to a Netflix movie that is probably going to star Ryan Reynolds, who Q score has been cut in half in recent months. I don't know about the whole thing.
Okay. Well, I mean, I like the fact that he's doing something quote unquote original in that it's not under a franchise and he can kind of have some fun with it and see what he can do with it. But I mean, the Adam Project, I didn't like that. I didn't think that was that great of a movie. So doing original sci-fi, does this make sense? And what's the twist on this? Because something responding back, what's going to be the twist on this that they're going to play with? So I'll be curious to see where it all goes with that.
Like, usual names are listed, like Ryan Gosling's listed. Like, you really think Ryan Gosling's going to do this movie? I don't.
I don't think so. No. I don't. Yeah.
He could stand to mix it up as well. So.
Yeah. Well, let's just to kind of add on to that, I don't have a thumbnail for this, but let's wrap this story up. Well, Jeff Baldoni and Lively have settled. It's done. No one wins. They each paid out $60 million in total for lawyer fees for this to be done. And already the stories are out there. Ryan and Blake in trouble, rocky relationship. Baldoni, what's his next thing? Is anyone going to touch him? Or did this finally settle and clear the path for both of them now to start working without any of that baggage on them? What are your thoughts about them settling finally, real quietly, like just a few days ago?
Thank God. Yeah, thank God this is quote unquote over. Even though a whole bunch of other parties will be suing each other over the events that occurred, right?
Yeah, the publicists and all that.
Yeah. That stuff's ongoing. Listen, their careers were absolutely hurting, and the fact that this was just getting dragged out for what were going on, a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, dude, it was a long time.
Yeah, definitely time to pull the plug on this and try to get back to work. That's why I told filmmakers with low budgets that it's like, now's the time to go get Blake Lively, because she needs a vehicle that works to get back in the game, and I do think it would lower her standards a little bit. Justin Baldoni, I don't really know what becomes of him as a director. I don't know that I see him directing studio movies again after all this, but I could see him financing like his own movie because he has access to financing with Wayfarer. Right.
Yeah, I mean, like Blake Lively's lawyer came out and said they won. Baldoni has come out through his reps and talked about his emotional distress, which was covered on page 6 by Sarah Jones. And so I don't think anyone comes away from this a winner, man. I think they both damaged each other. It was a stupid thing to go down. And clearly now you're like, well, did anything even happen on the set if they were to settle this quietly and all of that? So it just seemed foolish after a while. I'm sure Ryan hit that wall as well. It's like, honey, you got to stop. We got to just settle this thing, rolling out of here. But I agree with you. Blake now, I think, and she was complaining that she hasn't been cast anything, and she felt through her reps that she was being lowballed. I saw a couple of blackballed. I saw a couple of stories like that. So maybe this opens the door for her to work with other people and get involved with other stuff.
Blackballed to lowballed. She will be lowballed. Make no mistake.
Good point.
And she's going to have to say yes to some of these if she wants to get back to work. You're going to have to accept some of those lowball offers.
Yeah. I saw someone say it cost $25 million or $35 million to make It Ends With Us. They could have just done the 2 sequels for the amount of money they spent fighting each other over this whole situation. And so, it's a shame at the end of the day. Either way,
ego, takes control.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's hit into some DC news, Jeff. This also dropped just before we started here. This is coming to us from Deadline. Apparently, Greg Mottola is the front runner to direct DC Studios' Deathstroke and Bane movie. Yes, this is apparently still happening. Mottola is the favorite. Multiple of the filmmakers are in consideration, but it is the path that they might be walking here with Greg Mottola. Do you like this idea? Do you like Mottola, who is a great indie director? He did some episodes of Peacemaker. He also did Superbad, Adventureland, Day Trippers, Confess Fletch, which some people apparently like. I'm not one of them, but your thoughts on this? Do you like him for a Deathstroke and Bane movie? This makes sense?
Not necessarily. I mean, it makes sense in that he is part of the DCU and he has done Peacemaker before, so he has, some familiarity to James Gunn and what's going on. I'm sure he goes way back to James Gunn. Yeah, I mean, he could very well wind up with the gig. I don't see him turning it down.
Yeah,
if he is in fact offered it. I did hear another name prior to our show.
Okay.
Any guesses?
Oh God, Craig Gillespie.
I'm just fucking with you. It's Ilya Naishuller.
Oh,
I've heard.
Okay,
come up for this as well.
Yeah, did he do Sisu? Right? Isn't that who Ilya did Sisu? Is that correct? Am I wrong?
Did he? I think he did the Roadhouse sequel. That.
Right. Yes. Okay.
I think he's coming off that. So. Okay. Anyways, do I think that we need a Deathstroke Bane movie? Not really. Who's gonna be these characters? Who would you cast as Bane?
This is clearly going to be done in the vein of comedy with a little bit of drama attached to it. It feels like a buddy cop type of or buddy villain type of film because it's under James Gunn's auspices. And Mottola has done basically almost all comedies in most of his career. So to me, this feels like and then James Gunn likes that comedy mixed with real stakes type of approach. So it fits, as you said, with Peacemaker, fits under the window or the umbrella of what DC wants to do. So Mottola makes sense, but anyone looking for a hardcore Deathstroke and Bane movie, I don't think you're going to find it in Mottola's version of it. It's going to probably be more PG-13, or if it's R, it's like barely R.
Is this the Hobbs and Shaw of the DC universe?
Yes, this is what I think, because people like Deathstroke, people like Bane, and there are jokes to be made at both of their expenses because of how they became what they became. And as we saw, and we know James Gunn's attitude is much more comedic than it is necessarily super drama. Clayface being the exception from what it seems like. So this makes sense, and it could be fun. And if they're part of the Batman villain universe, so if you're going to do a Batman Brave and the Bold, that's much more closely aligned with the animated series, which has a lot of jokes combined with real drama, then that is what you seem to be branching out to create your entire DC universe to have, that kind of energy for the most part. So it makes sense. But I like Superbad. That's one of my favorite fucking comedies the last 30 years, man. So
you're right. Greg Mottola doesn't get enough credit for it. I mean, I guess he has experience doing action thanks to Peacemaker, but like when you put that aside, not a ton of action experience. I'm just like, do we need this movie? Do people want to see these two characters together, especially when it hasn't like been established? Like if Hobbs and Shaw just came out of nowhere and they were just like, here's two new guys you've never seen, and now they have their own movie. Why are we getting all these movies about Batman villains? And like, well, who is Batman? Like, how do you? So unless you already have your Batman, whether it's an actor that you've sort of quietly said, whispered in his ear and said, listen, you're going to be my Batman, or they're using Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the thing that I think you're hitting on something that just occurred to me as well. And that is this, they're going down the Sony Spider-Man route where all the villains are going to get movies before we get the Batman. And before we get a Spider-Man, all the Spider-Man villains are going to get movies. So I think it's a dangerous road to keep walking without making a decision about your Batman, because then you have an aesthetic that you're going to carry over into these other films. So because Clayface looks pretty hardcore, and he's in the Batman world of villains. And now you've got Bane and Deathstroke. Are you going to make that a little more comedic? So what's the mixture here? What's the sauce? And what's the sauce taste like? So I wonder when he makes that decision on Batman. Because it doesn't feel like he's any closer, man. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
What does the sauce taste like?
Do you bring Tom Hardy back and Joe Manganiello back? Did you bring those two guys back to be?
I really think Tom Hardy would do it like that.
No.
Yeah, no,
Fuck
that's
no.
like
Tom's done.
Nolan has his own thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think Tom Hardy would be back. Would Alan Ritchson be Bane?
Ooh, I like that. Although Bane is Latino, so I don't know. Depends. But
Hardy played him.
But listen, I mean, I'm not going to have a problem with Alan Ritchson doing
Bane is Latino. What?
Yes, he is. He's Latino. Who else could get that angry and that big from anger but Latinos, for God's sakes? Come on, man. I like this idea. Gareth Evans would be good for this. I like that idea. Gareth Evans could be a lot of fun for that. Yeah, for sure.
He would. I need to see his new movie. Colt is or to judge, because that movie Havoc had some cool moments, but that is not a good movie. And that's what Tom
I agree. But even Elia, because Elia did Nobody. That's the film that Elia did. That is a combo of hardcore action, funny moments. And so it could clearly, this is the vein, if that name is accurate, this is the vein or the energy or the aesthetic that Gunn wants for this. So
he did hardcore Henry.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, he definitely has the action chops. I've been following Ilya's career for a long time.
Right. Okay. Oh, anything else you want to say on this? Shall we move on?
I'm just saying, I don't think Mottola is the only director, but the fact that we're even talking about directors at this stage, I think is newsworthy. Kroll. Yeah. Listen, I think this is the moment where we have to say, Kroll, Justin Kroll, my buddy, what a week. I'm look. I don't want to just standing ovation. He just came out of the gate swinging this week, one after the next, and this was the exclamation point after a long week. So kudos to him.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on there from Justin for sure. So all right, let's move on to. Well, do you want to stay with Justin? Should we move on to that one? Should we move on to?
There's so many. They're all Justin's.
Let's do it. His Planet of the Apes story. Let's jump into it here. Well, this is apparently happening. A new Planet of the Apes movie is in motion here. Jeff, explain it to me. I don't understand. Matt Shakman coming in, but it's the same writer from the previous Apes movie that Wes Ball did. Judah Freeland is writing this thing. And it's apparently a whole new approach, according to Justin Kroll in the story that he delivered, that is not going to be connected necessarily to what Wes Ball just did. And we had heard just a few months ago that they were planning for a 2027 approach to this sequel. And now it's going to be a complete reboot of this Planet of the Apes universe. What are your thoughts here, man?
Listen, that part of the report wasn't entirely accurate, because if you, looked at Steve Asbell's Twitter, Steve Asbell is the head of 20th Century Studios. He said it's not unconnected.
Okay. To which one? To all four of them? It's not unconnected to all four of them. Is that correct?
I think the theory is, doesn't the last one sort of introduce the Statue of Liberty of it all?
The last one is way in the future. Caesar has been dead for a few generations.
But how the humans
end? It ends with the humans being able to talk. That there's a contingent of humans who are still able to talk and have been planning to attack or go after the apes, and they're just biding their time. That's how it ends. So kind of a reverse of the Statue of Liberty. And if you look at the ape as being the Charlton Heston kind of character, and he realizes that the humans are not stupid or dumb or ignorant, and that they are planning to attack the apes at some point.
I saw something on Twitter that alluded to what I think is going to happen. I think at the end of whatever this new Apes movie, that is when you'll find out that it's converging with the other. So I think that's why it was probably played that way in the original report. It may be a reveal or a twist, although again, somebody seemed to say it on Twitter right as soon as it happened.
So what do you think happened here, though? Why do you think Wes Ball was moved off and Shakman was brought in, especially considering Fantastic Four kind of underperformed for Marvel?
It underperformed, but that's not necessarily on Matt Shakman. I thought Matt Shakman did a decent enough job. I mean, it's not his fault that Marvel was sort of, in the dumps. Yeah, like I thought he cast the movie pretty well. It had a
Yeah,
really cool like retro aesthetic. The production design was great.
I
Um,
agree. Yeah.
People would say that the villain was good. Yeah, I think Matt Shakman is actually a good hire for Apes. It's
Okay.
not that like West Ball's moving off of it. I just think West Ball is busy with other stuff, especially after
Mm,
Zelda. Like he's going to kind of be able to,
good
run
point.
his ticket, I think, to some extent.
Yeah.
And I think doing the mocap of it all with the apes is maybe
Mm,
a different kind of filmmaking. You kind of really gotta want to do it twice.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I just think it's odd to move off with it. It seemed like they were going to be going forward with West to move them off. But as you said, maybe there's with the Zelda stuff, there's
Oh
maybe
no,
more going on here. So yeah.
no. I mean, I've definitely checked out multiple names for apes
Mm,
over in recent months. I knew that it
yeah.
wasn't going to be West Ball, and they were looking for a
Ah,
big director. The
okay.
director I'd thought that they might be getting was Sarnowski.
Oh shit.
Quiet
Right. Right. Right.
Day One, and
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And Josh Friedman coming back to write it. I mean, that there's a continuation in that or a continuity in that, which I guess helps with the overall assessment of it being connected, as Ismail said. So, all right, let's move on to this other story. This is interesting. Jeff, what are your thoughts on this? Natalie Portman and Jonathan Bailey coming together for a movie about cycling. Do you like this? It's from fresh director Mimi Cave. It's called Pumping Black. It centers on Taylor Mace, who is, I think, who Bailey is playing, an aging professional cyclist who fears he's being pushed out of the sport at age 35. He becomes entangled with Andrea Leith, who is being portrayed by Portman. She's a doctor whose obsession with power and winning pushes both characters into increasingly dangerous territory as the Tour de France approaches. I kind of like this log line, and these two coming together on this is interesting. What are your thoughts on
I do like the log line.
that?
And I do, that is an interesting pairing. I want the best for Natalie Portman. I love Natalie Portman. Hasn't, necessarily picked the best stuff recently.
It's true.
So yeah, I'm hoping this is a return to form.
Okay. I mean, it seems like a challenging movie, drama wise, but it does feel a little like a few years too late because we were all into the, Lance Armstrong stuff and right? How many people are into this stuff now,
I agree that it does feel a little too late. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if it'll be worth it. I mean, a good hardcore drama exploring this stuff would be really interesting. And I like the idea that it's a female doctor pushing the male competitor to maybe cross some lines, violate some stuff. I like that. There's an interesting twist on that. You don't usually see it that way in films like this. But are you a Mimi Cave fan? Did you like Fresh or
No,
Holland or any of
no,
these films?
no, I'm not. I'm not a Mimi Cave fan. So,
Okay.
unfortunately, I'm not happy for her
Okay.
to prove me wrong, but that's not a name that necessarily excites me. And Luke Nelson, pay for a super chat.
Oh, is he asking questions? There you go. All right.
Yeah, he may.
Yeah, Luke. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, let's move on to this. I want to ask you about this, Jeff. A lot of drama. You know how it is. A trailer comes out from Christopher Nolan, and everybody's got feelings.
Everybody's got opinions.
They got opinions here, man. We got to see a bearded Matt Damon, Tom Holland up in this thing. Anne Hathaway acting the shit out of her role in these scenes. Charlize Theron, much more Robert Pattinson, and a Cyclops whose eye is apparently different, which caused the internet to melt down. So, your thoughts on this? Did you have an issue with the accent? Did you have an issue with the darkness of the trailer?
Historically inaccurate Cyclops. That's not what the real Cyclops look like. Trust me, I was there.
Hashtag not my Cyclops.
Oh, really? I thought it looked great.
Yeah.
This is the movie to see this year, along with Dune 3. Pattinson looks awesome.
Right? Yeah, playing the heel, the chicken shit heel.
So it's supposedly two parallel stories, right? There's like Damon home stuff, and then there's like Tom Holland being a bitch back at home with Robert Pattinson or whatever. And like Pattinson looked like a great bully.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he looked like he was emasculating the kid.
Daddy's never gonna be home.
I'm banging your mom. I'm gonna bang your mom, whether you like it or not. Yeah, exactly. But I do like that idea of a parallel story. That makes it very interesting. So in one sense, you're like championing this guy getting home, and in the other sense, you're like, is he going to get home in time before this shit goes down? I mean, it's very similar to 300, right? When you had Leonidas, Gerard Butler out there fighting fighting the Persian forces, and then at home you've got Dominic West trying to bang Lena Headey. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I think this is like after Snyder followed Nolan with Batman, this is now Nolan following Snyder. No.
Yeah, what is wrong with people, Jeff? Why do you think it is? Why do you think people have to look at a trailer and have to like lose their fucking minds over an accent, over the darkness of the Christopher Nolan stuff, over a Cyclops eye placement? Like, what is this obsession? Oh, but I will say the legitimate complaints that we didn't see Zendaya or Lupita Nyong'o, I think those are legitimate complaints. But the other three, I think, are kind of like, come on.
Well, they're actively trying to keep women of color out of the marketing, naturally.
Well, we're not seeing them, that's for sure. I don't know how you keep Zendaya hidden away. It doesn't make any sense. But
I'm sure she'll be in the final trailer.
Yeah.
I'm sure. We still got some time.
Yeah.
It's
just exhausting.
It wasn't billed as the final trailer, was it?
No.
Yeah. They'll show the goods, closer.
But it's just exhausting, isn't it? We're losing.
What's exhausting is constantly looking for like racism everywhere.
Well, that's a part of it. Sure. But listen, you can't deny that Lupita Nyong'o, there was a huge reaction on social media and other places to a black woman being the Helen of Troy. God forbid. And they wisely kept her out of the trailer because they don't want people to focus on that, because Helen is not a big part of this story. She's in the movie, but she's not a big part of the story. But Athena is a big part of the story, which is who Zendaya is playing. So it is a little weird that she wasn't in the trailer. But that being said, people still had something to bitch about. And I don't understand. Like, at some point, does this shit break? At some point, does it break and we're done with it? Or does this keep going with everything?
Eventually, we're going to get the cast trailer, okay? And that's where they list all the names, right? And it's going to be like 17 screens of fucking names. And it's going to be awesome. And they're both going to be in it. So relax.
I just think this film is gonna, because it depends on who Elliot Page is playing as well. We saw him in the trailer, or them in the trailer rather, and so it's just going to be interesting to see how ballsy Nolan is being with this, and how certain sections of the internet who love to melt down over shit, both woke and anti-woke, are going to react to this film, because it seems like there's enough food for everybody to have a meal on their anger about it. So we will see. But incredible trailer. I thought it was great.
And didn't even really give like a great idea of the score, which I think is going to be magnificent. Yeah.
But I like the energy of this. It's a man trying to get home to his wife and child. That made me like, fucking let's go, man.
Right.
I don't care if they sound like they're from Ohio, as someone said. I don't give a shit, because I remember this TV series with Armand Assante, and I guarantee you he wasn't doing a British accent. So, all right, let's move on to this, man. Matt Reeves. I know we just talked a little DC earlier, but let's talk a little more DC. Matt Reeves posted a couple of shots here. Those shots you see there on the screen from the Batman Part 2. Someone said he was responding to someone who said, wait, are we getting blood-soaked Batman in the snow? And Matt, I think, said maybe, or that's the idea. And we got these couple of shots. This is just to get us excited, isn't it? And what is all of this? Is this from the James Gunn School of Social Media, or what is all this? What is this all about?
It's to distract you.
Tell me why. What should I be distracted from? What should I be distracted from?
When did they say this movie's starting production?
Supposedly already.
Is that what's happened? He started production?
What are those pictures for? Aren't those on-set photos?
I don't know. Has it started shooting, or are those just like test shots, like camera shots? I thought that's.
Oh, good call. I don't know.
I feel like we're gonna.
So what do you think?
I feel like we're gonna get a press release when it officially starts production.
Okay.
And that press release didn't come yet.
That's true. Variety said Matt Reeves dropped what appears to be the first official look at production on the Batman Part 2 Thursday, posting on the photo on X saying hashtag snow tires with a bat image. So you might be right. Is the image from a set or is it a test photo? Are these test photos? You might be right.
I'm just saying it wouldn't shock me if this movie did not start production this month.
What are you saying? What are you trying to say? What can you say? How about that?
I can't say anything, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, if they're giving us test shots,
yes,
you know how everyone says test shots, no filming has started. Well, it's what day is it? It's May 8th.
Yeah.
We got Memorial Day weekend coming up.
Yeah, we do. Yes.
And you know how in Hollywood, holidays start a week before they actually start.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like, wouldn't shock me if production did not start in May, as we've heard all along.
Wow. So it might be pushed another month or something.
Jim, did we hear June? Did they say June officially?
I don't think that they said anything officially. I think all they said was summer.
Is if they push it a month or two, do they push the release date a month or two? Is this a movie that comes out when it is snowing, when it's December?
Oh, yeah.
Like, is this an October movie or is this something that you see like Christmas Day? Fucking Batman.
But then that would be toe-to-toe with Secret Wars, right? If it was to come out. Oh, no, wait. It's going to start shooting. No, yes, right? Wouldn't it be go toe-to-toe with Secret Wars in December next year? Would this be the Dune 3 versus Doomsday all over again? Except it's Batman this time?
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. And yeah, does it Marvel want to take on? I mean, we'll see
DC?
how. Yeah, exactly. Does Marvel want to take on Batman?
Dude.
DC, this is Batman.
Oh, fuck me. The Batman Part 2 versus fucking Secret Wars? Dude, already I got a hard on like crazy. I got a nerd boner like crazy right now. The idea of DC versus Marvel would be fucking amazing, dude. I love it.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but like, it's already May. You're telling me there's going to be a new Batman movie in theaters in October?
Yeah. Good call. Good call.
Starting to feel a little tight.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah, nice point, Shogun. Mr. Freeze's villain. That's been the rumor for quite some time. So maybe. So, yeah. I like the idea, though. I like the idea of Batman versus the fucking Avengers. I kind of love that. That is fucking awesome. So we'll see. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to this. Let's talk about this, Jeff. Let's get into some drama here. Mortal Kombat 2 is out in theaters this weekend. And the producer of Mortal Kombat 2 had some comments to say about critics reviewing his movie. And they were not positive comments overall. He was a little upset. He was questioning. This was Todd Garner here. He said, what did he say? Todd Garner says, some of these reviews are cracking me up. It's clear they have never played the game and have no idea what the fans want or any of the rules / canon of Mortal Kombat. He also mocked one critic who said, quote, one reviewer was mad that a guy, quote, had a laser eye. Why the fuck do we still allow people that don't have any love for the game or any genre to review these movies? It's totally baffling. Well, I'd like to chime in as a critic to tell Todd Garner, if he happens to be watching this, I enjoyed Mortal Kombat 2 and I got it. I had no problem with Kato having a laser eye. So there's a lot of us who enjoyed the movie, don't have a problem with it. It actually has good numbers in terms of reviews and critics. So this seems odd to be upset about this, especially when the film is being projected to open at $45 million and possibly more. Your thoughts on this, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, I think Todd knows better than this. You're never really going to win when you're going head to head with critics. Because they kind of get the final word. Although at the end of the day, the movie gets the final word, right? How do audiences respond? How much money does it make? And did audiences like it?
Right.
We're about to find that out. I think its tracking is encouraging if it's, in the 40 to 45 range. If it comes in a little bit lower, 36 to 38, maybe that doesn't make as much sense. But to do a third one, I mean. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat 2. I grew up playing those games. It sounds like it delivers the goods from like what I want from a Mortal Kombat movie. But yeah, just not a good idea to mix it up, because it's not like this is the kind of movie that depends on reviews. So who gives a shit how they are?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing that I feels like he's chiming in on the critics versus fans thing that went on just a couple of weeks ago, and it just doesn't seem like the place to do it or the movie to do it with, because it's clearly, look, it's a 64% with the critics. Well, that's to be expected, but it's an 89% with over 1,000 verified ratings on the popcorn meter. So you're getting good responses, and if it's going to be over 50 million, if it overperforms as some of these movies recently have done that appeal to fan bases, then what do you got to complain about? Why give the critics like your energy or the oxygen, as people like to say, because the ones that it's a critic proof movie, you know? And so I think this movie is going to do just fine.
I think Todd is also partially right in that, as I've said for a long time now, the critical community is in shambles. Really, you become a critic just by having super low financial standards and being like, yes, I will write a review for $50, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
Like, you know, these places are offering $30, $40, $50 a review.
Yeah.
And most, you know, real critics are used to like the good old days, and that's not what a review costs. So they say no, and then they just turn to some guy, a friend of theirs who likes movies, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll do it for $50. I'd love to start getting paid for my writing or to just watch movies, you know?
Yeah.
And then that person becomes the new critic, and it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I know for me, I've started to do more criticism, pre-written criticism on my reviews recently, but I have no expectation that it's going to do huge numbers, because most people don't turn to my YouTube for my reviews. They'll turn to like Stuckman or Jeremy Johns or even Christian. So I just like to do it and put it out there, but I have no expectation. So I hear you. The $10, $20, $50 writers, they're getting paid to write these reviews. It's not much, you know, so they write it and put it out there. But I think Todd is like, there's the main reviewers, but I agree. I think I'll tell this. I agree with one segment of Todd's thing where he said like a critic who was complaining about Kano having a laser eye. Like, if you don't understand the material and you don't understand the game, why the fuck are you talking about it? Like, to me, in my opinion, it's like, why are you talking about it? Like, do your research and go like, oh yeah, maybe this is in the game. Let me look it up before I complain about it. But if you're going to complain about it without knowing the history of the game, then you look like an idiot. You look like an uninformed critic. And as you said, that indicates the critic community being in a bit of a shambles. And that's not a good thing, you know, at the end of the day.
It's also, again, about PR departments. Like, who is being invited to these movies? Is it just they're getting a list from the CCA or whoever, like, hey, this is a list of accredited critics, this is who's going to be voting, and that's who gets invited? Is it just based on your Instagram or TikTok follower accounts? Like, what is going on these days? I realize I've burned bridges with certain studios, and I'm not expecting to be invited to the Devil Wears Prada Netflix thing, you know, like, but some like Warner Brothers, there's really no beef with Warner Brothers, yet the studio is just so impossible to deal with.
Well, I guess because you're in LA, that makes it harder, because there's a glut of critics and influencers in LA. So it makes it hard to push through. Here, I work with a publicist company and they invite me to everything. So I don't ever have any problems or any concerns if they're showing it.
It's all about like the local rep.
Yeah, exactly. They're very good to me, the people here. So yeah, I'm lucky. But you know, but I hear you. But they're not showing Mandalorian and Grogu here next week, so I have to drive to LA to see that movie. So you know, it just
are we gonna have dinner?
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a drink afterwards. But it's up in Universal City. You don't go out to the Valley, do you? Are you in the Valley? I'll go meet you for a drink afterwards if you want.
I'm in Santa Monica.
Oh, yeah, see.
I can get up there. I got wheels.
Okay. One real quick plug, because I'm trying to plug more of my stuff here on all my shows. I do have my non-spoiler review here up for Mortal Kombat 2. Please take a look at it. It's a quick 8 minutes, giving you some background and some feelings about the movie itself. I might have a spoiler review coming with the Geek Buddies later on this weekend, but it is up there if you guys want to watch it. All right. What do you think about this, though, Jeff? This, just to finish off the Mortal Kombat 2 discussion, who do you think is going to win Devil Wears Prada is doing well. Apparently, it's on pace now. It's only a few million away. And I mean few in terms of single digits from crossing the entire amount that the first Devil Wears Prada did in its entire run. So do you think it has enough to beat out Mortal Kombat 2? It's Mother's Day this weekend. Or do you think Mortal Kombat 2 is going to end up taking it this weekend? But still, Devil Wears Prada 2 will come up real close in second.
I actually think Devil Wears Prada 2 is going to overperform and hang around this weekend. And I could see it winning the weekend.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm catching up with this weekend. And I just think word of mouth is good. And you know, women, because they have kids, so it's not always easy for them to get out of the house. It takes a little bit of planning. And if there is, you know, then maybe they're like, oh, I'm going to wait to see if it's any good first. Right. I think there's a lot of women who are going to be turning out in groups this weekend.
To see this movie. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, according to the prognosticators, they are toe-to-toe right now, Mortal Kombat 2 and Devil Wears Prada 2, which I think speaks volumes about Devil Wears Prada 2, that it's in its second weekend can still to go toe-to-toe with a film that is supposedly getting good to decent reviews and is its opening weekend. So there you go. That's a positive for that movie for sure. All right, we'll see what happens with that one. All right, let's move on to another story. Unless you got more to say on that. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to your story here, Jeff, from last week. You broke it after the show was over, you son of a bitch. But apparently there are directors that are being looked at for Top Gun 3 to replace Christopher McQuarrie. Screen Rant did a list of some directors. None of them were the directors that you listed, but they're the ones that they suggested. What do you think about, what have you heard? What are the new things? Because you had three directors, one duo, who were possibilities here to direct. So tell me what you know.
First of all, I want to be clear. There's no Top Gun 3 list. Everything just gets misconstrued these days because nobody reads anything. They just somebody reads it, then they do something inaccurate with it, and then that becomes the thing because it's not behind a paywall anymore. And then that's not what I said. There's not a 15-person list. There's no fucking short list. What I did was ask around and say, who, do you think is going to get this gig? If you were the executive on this, who would you hire? Who would you be looking at? Who are the likely suspects? And they said, this is who, makes sense to me. And that's why John Chu was number one, because when David Ellison could really, turn to anybody to direct his big CinemaCon video intro for the studio, who did he turn to? He turned to John Chu. Gave him $5 million. And who did John Chu work with besides every celebrity that, attached to Paramount? He worked with Tom Cruise.
Yes, 100%.
So that's how he made it on. Guys like Adil and Bilal, they have a relationship with Bruckheimer. And from what I was told is, they do want to hire like, a shooter. Like this is someone who's under the thumb of Tom Cruise and Jerry Bruckheimer, right? Yeah. Like it may be an elevated shooter, a glorified shooter, but not, Paul Thomas Anderson, which, was someone I specifically asked about, like, because Paul Thomas Anderson was someone who famously, when he went to film school, wanted to make movies like Terminator 2. So when his teacher was like, if anyone here, is here to make that kind of movie, just get out now. He was like, fine. He was more than happy to quit. So like deep down, Paul Thomas Anderson does want to make blockbusters. David Fincher was going to direct Mission Impossible 3.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
I asked about Doug Liman. Tom Cruise was ready to go to outer space with Doug Liman.
That's true. That's true.
But Doug Liman also just famously got into it over Roadhouse with Bezos.
All right. That's right.
And, is making a fucking Bitcoin movie with Pete Davidson right now. So, tough to be like, now he's going to direct Top Gun 3. So I asked about all these people. And I thought it was an interesting list. The fact that Shakman, got Apes, a few days later, it's like that's kind of what I was getting at. Is like he earned the next big thing. And there's a super chat that we're going to talk about that'll address it further.
Okay.
You want to bring it up?
Where was it?
From Luke Nelson.
This one here?
Yeah.
Luke Nelson, 5798 says, can't ignore being called out by Jeff. Let's hear what you've got on Shakman for Fantastic Four 2. Is it possible it doesn't go if Doomsday Secret Wars underperforms?
So I know I had previously said that I had heard Shakman was going to be back for Fantastic Four 2.
Yes.
I'm now hearing that he will not.
Ooh, wow.
And
okay.
That is why he is doing something like Apes. Like because he's not going to be back for Fantastic Four 2. That doesn't mean.
Wait, was it his decision or was it the studio's decision?
That I don't know. I mean, it may just be in the schedule may not be right? Like that movie may be another year or two away. He's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Sit here with my thumb up my ass? I'm going to go make this movie. It's going to take 2 or 3 years of my life, and I don't know if our windows are going to necessarily align. But yeah, I don't think that. I think that Marvel is planning to do Fantastic Four 2. I don't know that it's necessarily like the first thing that they're doing after these Avengers movies.
Right.
So yeah, it's
okay.
He's doing that. I don't expect him back for Fantastic Four anymore.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. I think that makes sense. Because as you said, those Apes movies are going to take a lot of time and effort. And who knows? Maybe by the time that's done, timing wise or whatever, he can come back and do Fantastic Four. But my feeling is that like he did it, it underperformed, and maybe he just wants to move on from it. But he stays still under the Disney umbrella because the Apes is for 20th Century, which is under Disney's umbrella. So they clearly liked working with him.
Right.
Like him as a director. So.
That's exactly it. They're like, we want to keep him in-house. We want to find something for him. But yeah, we don't want to just hold him up because this is maybe taking longer than expected. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, let's move on to a little bit of controversy, Jeff. What are your thoughts on this? I don't know if you want to even talk about this, but I'm bringing it up. Melissa Barrera had some comments about these people who were in Scream 7. First of all, she said that Paramount, quote, lied about the numbers for Scream 7 and said, I don't think it made that much money. She also believes the actors who appeared in Scream 7, and I think she's even referencing the freaking old school actors, they were fired. They appeared after. She accused them essentially of crossing a picket line and says they have to live with that. The only way they were able to make that movie after what happened was to nostalgia bait as much as possible. So, dude, these are shots fired. She is currently on Broadway doing a show, but here she is still rehashing the Scream 7 situation. Why is she even talking about this? Why is she battling about this? This makes no sense. If I was her reps, I'd be like, why the fuck are you talking about this? Leave it alone. Move past it.
I was getting from being like, if I were her reps, I would have like begged Variety not to publish it and promise them something down the line. Like,
yeah,
just a crazy interview, which, I guess that's the goal that Variety wants. Like, here we are talking about this interview, which otherwise would have just been a celebrity fluff. But half of it's like about Marlo Stern and his feelings about getting fired or whatever.
Right.
Which, yeah. Anyways, it was a very, very weird interview, and I don't think that she helped her cause at all. Either any of her causes. She sounded hurt.
Yes.
So it's like I don't really want to kick her too much. But I thought some of the things that she said were just like ridiculous.
These are Scream movies. Like, do we understand? She wasn't kicked out of a Christopher Nolan movie for taking a stance. These are Scream movies, okay? And I get it. It's one of the most notable horror franchises ever in the history of film. I totally get it. Respect that. But it wasn't like you were getting great notices for your acting in those movies. People were much more focused on Jenna Ortega and her abilities and her skills, not Melissa Barrera's. And so when she was let go, she took a stance, and that's part of taking a stance is risking the loss of something that's yours. To keep complaining about it, I think undercuts the stance you took, because it just feels like, well, you knew you might be sacrificing this. There's a nobility in sacrificing this for your stance, but to keep complaining about what was sacrificed almost makes it feel as if you wish you didn't have to do that sacrifice, and it erases all the nobility of the stance you're taking. So I think it was a ridiculous move, and for her to say and to accuse the studio of hiding money. I mean, but not on your previous Scream movies, just on this one. And I think that's where it becomes way too childish as opposed to adult and mature, which is frustrating.
What didn't work for me was like she talked about like people doing shit for the money, and then she gets offered a role from Boots Riley. And he goes out on a limb to offer her this role, and she's like,
"Yeah,
peace, bro. I got more money, a bigger offer coming in to do the Copenhagen test." And she just leaves him behind. Yeah, I was like, if that really meant a lot to you, him coming forward, you'd think you'd be like, listen, I really appreciate this. Like, I'm gonna move heaven and earth to like do this for you.
Yeah, I'll make it happen. Yeah,
right. And instead, it was just like, yeah, I got offered more money somewhere else to do a fucking piece of shit Peacock series that got canceled after one season.
Which got canceled after one season. Right. And further damaged Simu Liu. So, just to address this real quick, because I know it's not a super chat, but to be fair, her being fired from Scream was the first domino that fell in her being unemployed for a year. But yeah, she's doing too much. Yes, it was. But that's the thing. You knew that. When you take a stance on a controversial topic, you're taking a stance. You should know the consequences of the stance you're taking. That's legitimate across the board, no matter who you are. And especially something like what went on in Gaza with Israel and Palestine, all that. Like, if you're going to take that strong of a stance, you don't see Javier Bardem out here going, I lost all this work. He's like, fuck it. I made my stance and I believe in what I believe. And I'll work when I work. Look at my hot ass wife. That's what he says. Like, but to be bitching about it, it makes your stance not be that strong at the end of the day, Yeah, that's just me.
I agree. It's less about the stance than her being annoying about the stance.
Yes.
That's almost like the thing. It's like, you can believe whatever you want to believe, just don't rub it in my face.
It's dressed up victimhood as opposed to social activism. It's frustrating.
Listen, that's all over the place.
Yes, you're
probably
right.
Punished too much, and she is talented, but it's like you inherited a Scream franchise that wasn't yours. Don't blame these people for coming back when that's who everybody is there to see. Yeah, you wouldn't even like be where you are if it wasn't for Nev Campbell 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's actually a good point.
Yeah. It was a bad interview, and I'm sure there will be more like it on both sides.
Probably. Let's move on to this. What are your thoughts on the Narnia situation, Jeff? We didn't get a chance to talk about this last week. I think it broke a day or so, or maybe later on the day after we did it on Friday. But the Narnia film is getting pushed to February 12th of next year. Yeah, and it's getting a theatrical release, a full-on longer theatrical release than initially was pitched here. So this is apparently supposedly because of an accident on set to one of the actors. But what are your thoughts on this? What are your feelings on this? Is this Ted Sarandos putting his money where his mouth is and committing to this theatrical stuff depending on the movie?
I mean, I think that the delay was real and that they needed a little bit more time, and she didn't want to have to rush. And so this gives her 2-3 more months or whatever to finish. It's going to listen. I always believe that Netflix, there is money in theatrical. If there wasn't money in theatrical, all the studios would be doing the Netflix thing too, and they would just be dumping all their shows all at once, right? They believe in windows and in releasing shows 1 week at a time, right? And they listen. These studios have been doing this for 100 years. Like, they know how to make something last in the culture in a way that Netflix kind of does not.
Yeah.
So I don't. I think that Ted was genuine in what he was saying. Actually, about like when he was talking about going theatrical with Warner Brothers, like. Yeah. It does make sense for certain titles, and Netflix has never really had a title like Narnia that's based on this kind of like huge IP.
Right.
On the feature side, to me, like, what are we talking about releasing here? Right? Like fucking Mank and Roma, like Frankenstein. No, like Narnia is the movie that you go big with and that you experiment with, right? Like, I know that Netflix doesn't really have a major theatrical distribution thing, and that may be their errors that they're doing it all themselves rather than teaming with a studio partner, right? That that knows what it's doing, but Netflix
That's true.
wants to figure it out because I think they have larger ambitions to do more of it.
Yes. That's what I come away from this with in my mind. They don't have to do this, but they did it to see if this is the first film they're releasing with a full-on theatrical window of 6 weeks. And they're going to see how people respond to it. And if there is money here to be made with the Netflix name on the brand, then it's an evolution. And as you said, certain movies will get this kind of response from Netflix and others won't. It all depends. So it'll be interesting to see if it does do. And this is a smart one to take a chance on because Narnia is a very beloved series. So there's almost a baked-in audience to come and see this one. And Greta's a damn good filmmaker. So it's a smart move. And I think also you please your filmmaker because it was Greta who was pushing to get even a 2-week theatrical release or a 3-week theatrical release. So in a way, you're also signaling to other filmmakers that you are open as a company to this possibility down the road. And that may encourage other filmmakers to take a chance on your company.
Obviously, this is not a one-off. Like they have hopes and dreams for a whole Narnia franchise. And so if that's the case, wouldn't they love to have Greta Gerwig back?
Yeah, locked in. Yeah.
Right. Give her everything that she's asking. Why not? Why wouldn't she make it a long-term home? Especially with, who knows what the fuck is going on with Barbie 2 at Warner Brothers.
Good point. Yeah. One last thing to ask you about, maybe two last things. Edge of Tomorrow. There was all kinds of stuff going on with Edge of Tomorrow.
Sure there was.
Jeff, initially, Daniel RPK said that Edge of Tomorrow was moving forward at Warner Brothers and could shoot as soon as this fall. Yeah. But then, according to Collider's Frosty, the sequel is not currently in active development, despite periodic reports suggesting otherwise. Warner Brothers still hopes to make the sequel someday. People involved with the original have expressed interest over the years, but the project currently has no active production timeline, meaning the fans should not expect this film anytime soon. So it was a whole hullabaloo for, in the end, just being disappointed for those of us who like it.
Check the calendar and make sure it wasn't fucking April Fool's Day. Like, what? This movie was not that good, guys. It was okay.
How dare you? It's a good movie.
Okay, the first half of it's good when you're getting the whole gimmick and everything. The last third of this movie was terrible, from what I recall. No, we don't need a sequel to this movie, and we certainly don't need it as the follow-up to Digger, or the movie that Mike DeLuca is going to shoot his wad over. And I'll use all the goodwill that he got last year to make a fucking Edge of Tomorrow. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? This is nonsense.
I don't even think he's going to direct it. Remember, Edge of Tomorrow underperformed.
Nobody's going to be directing it. I'm going to be directing it because it's never getting made.
I mean, I think it's possible. I still think it's possible, but yeah, I mean, this could end up a Blade Runner 2049 situation where everyone's like, but people love it. People watch it at home. There's a whole fucking audience for Blade Runner. You got to make a sequel. Then you make the sequel and you bring Denis Villeneuve to make it. And listen, it's an excellent fucking movie in my opinion, but it didn't do shit at the box office.
Blade Runner's a classic though. Even if I didn't all that, and I don't care for Blade Runner 2049 at all, that is a title that has endured decades. Edge of Tomorrow, that's a fucking gettable Tom Cruise actioner from the fucking mid 2010s. What?
Yeah. Good point. One last thing I want to ask you about, man. Jessie, Buckley, and Paul Mescal have been reunited, apparently, in a film called Impossible Love Story. Oh, sorry. A film called Hold On to Your Angels, which is being described as an impossible love story. This comes from Plan B and Wrapped Films. And this is an interesting situation. It's being written and directed by Ben Zedlin, who did Beasts of the Southern Wild and did another film just a few years ago that did not do well in a lot of people's minds and was not received well by the critics. But do you like this as a next step for both of these actors coming out of Handmaid? Did they enjoy working together this much?
This will never get made. It's EFM time, baby. This is all that's why I don't get too upset about anything. Because I'm just these are all fake movies. Who's the biggest star who Ben Zeitlin has worked with? Quvenzhané Wallis.
Quvenzhané Wallis. Good. Well said. Yeah.
Was that her name? Wallace?
Yes, Wallace. Yes.
William
Wallace. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
yes.
that's the biggest star that Ben Zalen's worked with. Now he's directing fucking the Best Actress winner. It seems like a big jump. I just she'll fall out of this. There'll be something called scheduling. They'll replace her with somebody. It'll be somebody else in Paul Mescal. Then Paul Mescal will drop out a couple weeks after that, and it'll be the new replacement girl and the new replacement guy, and that'll be that.
Okay. All right. There you go. You heard it here first. Jeff does not believe this film
is going to happen. If this movie gets made with these people, then I'm an idiot.
Okay. All right.
Well, anyways, but whatever.
Whatever, man. It sounded. I liked it. It was funny. One last thing. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going into production.
We haven't even talked about the main story today.
All right, go ahead. Go. Yes. Sorry. Let's talk about the main story. I totally forgot about it.
Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
God damn it. What did I do? What is wrong with me? I didn't even talk about the main story. I apologize, Jeff.
Today, guys.
I'm sorry, guys. I've been out of hold on. I need to bring this up. So
I
just
keep to sell, not to smoke.
Where did I put this? I thought I had made a picture for this. Oh, well, I guess I haven't. So I'll bring it up later. So Jacob Elordi is apparently the odds-on favorite for Bond, and that is it's in pole position for James Bond. This is really interesting. I'm reading from Jordan Rumi's write-up on this. That he says, as far as I know, this was the first time Elordi had been mentioned as a serious contender way back when. But since then, you've had some interesting signs pointing his direction, including Showbiz 411's Roger Friedman, a journalist with decades of work to back him up, reporting that Elordi has had meetings with Bond producers, Amazon MGM, and director Denis Villeneuve. And now we have Marina Hyde, who writes for The Guardian on the Rest is Entertainment podcast, saying she's heard from multiple sources that Elordi is in pole position to be the new James Bond. Obviously, Villeneuve is going to have a say on this. So there seems to be no indication, though, according to Jordan Rumi, on Elordi's pushback. And Justin Kroll said that a final decision is supposed to be made on the next 007 actor in mid-2026, which we are maybe a couple of months away from it happening. So, Jeff, you have been adamant on our show that this is all bullshit. Nothing's going to happen. There's no script until there's a script. There's no casting. But Villeneuve is on Dune 3. So what are your thoughts on this?
No.
What?
This isn't true.
Really? So, Roger Friedman saying it's through The Guardian?
I love Roger Friedman.
Yeah.
What on earth would give anyone the idea that Roger Friedman would break this story?
I don't know.
Let's continue with the sources. Jordan
okay.
He heard that Jacob Elordi is the guy. And so basically any evidence that Jordan can find to back up this claims that he can be the guy who broke the James Bond thing, he's going to read.
Okay. So you're saying Jordan's got an agenda here to be the guy who broke the Elordi for James Bond's story, and he can cite these connections.
Okay. For Elordi. I don't think there's any question about that.
Okay.
Who is this person? This is
Marina Hyde, who writes for The Guardian. Who writes for The Guardian.
A lot of people write for The Guardian. And I've never heard of Marina Hyde's attached to a single other scoop in my entire career. Continue.
Well, okay, fair point. But she does co-host the Rest is Entertainment podcast, which is a good British podcast on film. It has 131,000 followers.
Yeah. Okay.
Subscribers, rather. She's a writer for the Guardian, so she has had her nose, her finger on the pulse.
She doesn't know anything about movies or doesn't have any sources, but
okay,
I love how now to multiple sources. Now I have so many James Bond sources. I have multiple people telling me that Jacob Elordi is in pole position. There's no pole.
Wouldn't I trust? Wouldn't I trust someone who's British? Wouldn't I trust someone who's British and got a connection with the British?
I don't trust the British media for anything, for shit, as far as I can throw them.
Oh, wow.
Except on James Bond stories.
Right.
But that was Baz, and Baz is now at Deadline. So I don't know if there really are any other British reporters left that I would trust.
But you shit on Baz's a story about it a few weeks ago. So you don't even trust Baz on this.
I mean, listen, everyone is desperate. Everyone's so desperate. There's nothing to report.
Really?
And you know how I know that? Because if there was something to report, as evidenced by his work this week, Justin Kroll would have fucking reported it. Okay? Kroll or Boris will be the fucking reporters to break this story. I'd be very surprised if it was anybody else, unless they just get caught holding the story. And, Tatiana comes in over the top, or Matt Bellany or something like that. It's not going to be Roger. It's not going to be Jordan. It's not going to be whoever this Guardian writer is. I'll do it. I just don't believe that it's Jacob Elordi. I don't think Jacob Elordi would be a very good Bond. I realize that he is a big star. It's just too big. He's too tall. Okay. Right. Like most people he'd come up against to fight would be like way smaller than him.
Okay.
Which is, maybe what you are looking for if you're looking for him to be like this hulking super agent. It's tough for him to blend into a crowd.
Okay.
And you don't want him to like be favored in every fight. Like that's the whole point of like going to the movies, is to like root for someone who's like overcoming the odds. I'm just, I don't see it. Do you actually see it in your head?
I do. And I don't understand the tall thing. Like, what the fuck? Who gives a shit? Like, I don't understand this, like saying, hey, why are they doing the accents that are American in the Odyssey? I don't care. It's like, it's Hollywood magic. Okay. If they have to make them smaller, they'll make the car bigger so he can sit in the Aston Martin. If they have to cast him, they'll cast bigger guys who are going to beat him up. Jaws, Richard Kiley was bigger than Roger Moore. There are bigger dudes.
Who's going to be his love interest? Caitlin Clark? Come on. I don't know. I'm
not even tall enough to be his love interest.
I think I'd rather have Sydney Sweeney as a Bond girl than him as a Bond guy, and I don't think you can have both because it just feels like it's all over again.
Why not? He made Mia Goth look like a comparable love interest in Frankenstein.
No, that stuff didn't work for me. That's the part of Frankenstein that didn't work.
Oh, all right.
I like Jacob Elordi. I also think he's like, does he really want to tie himself down to this? I know this is an opportunity to work with Denis, and that's what gives me pause, is because this isn't just, do I want to be James Bond and work for some fucking director?
Right.
It's, do I want to be the star of a Denis Villeneuve movie? That I don't is a lot harder to turn down.
Well, that's what I wonder. Is this an On Her Majesty's Secret Service situation where it's a one-off and it's Denis and Elordi as a one-off telling a story, the Bond story, but it's not going to be the Bond continuation story? Or this is Joker, where they thought they were only going to do one, but so many people saw it and loved him as Bond that you get convinced to do another one. There has to
be a plan right now. It can't just be, well, we'll see how this one does, and then maybe we'll make a second one. Like, I think you have to have a plan of what you're going to do with this IP. And so it's all about whether Jacob Elordi wants to be tied down for X amount of years doing whatever the fuck they have in mind. But they have to have something in mind.
I don't know, man. I feel like, I hear you about the plan. Yes, absolutely. But I think this is a great choice. I think this would be really, because he is like him as Elvis. He was excellent in Priscilla. I liked the menacing energy and the strength of him. Yet Kaylee Spaney could go toe to toe with him, and she's about as diminutive as it gets on screen. And I bought it. So I think he has that energy to be pushed around by a smaller woman or a smaller person in that way. And it kind of plays against type to go with a taller, bigger Bond, and seeing him the fact that he could get possibly put on his heels, that is interesting. So I think there's a way to play this that makes that.
I think one interesting thing is looking like, what does his schedule look like? Is he keeping his schedule open? And so far, we haven't really seen him be a part of any of these canned packages, which I feel like
he's not.
In normal years, he definitely would be.
Right. I think he only has Dog Stars coming up, which I think is not going to do damn good.
So he's keeping his schedule open and flexible. I think, like, Jamie and I have talked about, like, if Elordi wants it, that's a different story, right? Like, if he grew up if he grew up dreaming of being James Bond in the same way that Pattinson dreamed of being Batman, that changes the math a little bit. But if it's just another like star-making role for him, I don't know that he necessarily needs his star made.
Okay.
And what's the salary too, right? Like, do they want to pay James Bond a lot, or are they kind of just looking to hire some fucking young British guy for $1 million?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Elordi's not going to command that much, is he? I mean, if you look at his film grosses, they're not that strong. His film grosses, though. I mean, other than Wuthering Heights, how much of his films made? You know, Frankenstein didn't do shit at the box office. I don't think Dog Star is going to do anything at the box office. He's more known for Euphoria than anything else. So, you know. Yeah,
Wuthering Heights is a big win for him. You put Margot Robbie next to Colin Farrell, and that movie makes $5-10 million. You put her next to Jacob Elordi, it's going to open to 30-40.
That's true. That's true.
You know, I definitely think he gets a lot of credit for that opening.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's gonna, you know, I don't think he would accept $1 million to play James Bond like a lot of guys would.
No.
I think he would actually be one of the more expensive options, I assume. So
maybe,
especially with an Oscar nomination under his belt.
I just like him as an actor, and I think it could be an interesting challenge to play Bond. And he's got a smoothness.
He's got baggage. Like, you may know too much about him in a way you didn't necessarily know about Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I guess. I just like the choice because I like him, and I think it'd be an interesting challenge. And if you want to elevate James Bond, you get someone like this who can take it to the next level and really bring some acting chops. Nothing against Connery and Roger Moore, and although Daniel I thought was excellent as Bond, so it could be interesting to see this as an approach. But we'll see. Jeff might be right, but who knows? Maybe Roger Friedman is right in the end. We will see. All right, that's all the stories I had. Jeff, is there anything you want to talk about? Shall we get to the questions?
Give me the questiones.
Oh, let's do it. WV Grant says, with Sunday being Mother's Day, rank these 5 movies. Here we go, right off the bat. Wait, right? Oh, rank these 5 movie moms: Sarah Connor, Ellen Ripley, Beatrix Kiddo, Mrs. Gump, Elaine Miller. I don't know who Elaine Miller is. Is that who? Which one's Elaine Miller?
Elaine Miller.
Yeah, I don't know who Elaine Miller is.
Look, are you looking her up?
I am. I'm trying to look her up and see if there's anything here.
Was Ellen Ripley a mother?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think she was a mom.
I mean,
I don't think she was a mom.
I guess Mrs. Gump.
Yeah. You put Sally Field?
Yeah, she raised her kid to overcome a lot of tough stuff.
It's true.
And I mean, he scored a babe like Jenny. So
Elaine Miller is from Almost Famous. It's Frances McDormand in Almost Famous.
Oh, okay. All right. William Miller. Okay. I'll go Mrs. Gump. Beatrix Kiddo.
Wow. Okay.
Ellen Ripley.
Okay.
Elaine Miller. Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor would be a nightmare mom.
Yeah, I mean, like you saw in the second film, she is a ball of anxiety and just utter fear of what's coming. So that could not have been an easy life. So, yeah.
I don't think that would be fun living like if they all just go home after T2 and she's like Susie Homemaker now.
Yeah, no way. No way. Where are you at? Who are you with?
Right.
Jordan R.W. Weinhold said, saw I Swear yesterday. I loved it. Will be shocked if it's not on my top 10 of 2026. Aramayo gives an Oscar caliber performance. Bummed the film might be overlooked due to the BAFTA incident. BAFTA win deserved. Jeff.
What I've been saying, this guy deserved his BAFTA win over Timmy and Michael B. Jordan. This movie is the best movie I've seen all year. I will be shocked if it's not in my top 10. This is an Oscar caliber performance. And I do think it will be overlooked due to the BAFTA incident.
Probably, yeah. I've been sent a link for it. I still haven't watched it. I got to make a plan to watch it.
You got to make some time, set aside some time and watch, John. Because if I can watch the 10 Apple shows I've watched in the last
really?
So many Apple shows.
I can't seem to get into because I switched phones. My Okta Verify is not letting me into my Apple account, so I've got to figure out what to do.
Everything is impossible to sign on to these days. It really is like that viral tweet from like a week or two ago. Did you see that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Sign in here. Need change your password. Need a 2FA. Need your thumbprint. Need your social security number.
It's insane. Jordan also says, what movies are people not talking about that could surprise at the box office this year? I feel like Jordan is trying to get information from us so he can do a video on his own YouTube channel. Because look at that avatar of his. That's absolutely an avatar for a YouTube channel.
He's definitely looking to host a YouTube show.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Backrooms, I don't know why it's surprising people because I knew that Backrooms would be a big hit.
Yes.
Especially considering its budget. It probably will open closer to 30 than 20.
Yeah.
And I think Obsession is going to perform pretty well next weekend. I'm dying to see it. I can't wait.
Yeah. There's an early screening of that, I think, on Tuesday for people in theaters to see that one. And there was only 5 tickets sold in the theater by me, so I might go to see that as well.
I don't get invited to Universal screenings anymore, and it really, I did confirm it is about the Jurassic World incident. And apparently an email went around the studio about me afterwards.
Oh.
And it's like, I have nothing to apologize for there. I don't give a fuck.
Wow.
Don't show your movie at AMC Screen Unseen if you don't want critics to come and review off of that. Move your fucking embargo up.
That was the reason? That's so weird.
It's an insane reason. And that's why you just have to like be willing to tell some studios, like, you know what? You don't want me? Fine. Don't care.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what. I have a feeling that one of those Angel Studios movies is going to hit. Like maybe the war one, maybe Young Washington. But I feel like one of those two is going to hit. Because I know Animal Farm just absolutely got shot in the back of the
war one. What's the war one?
The one with Jeff Daniels and Jared Harris, where they're playing Reagan and Gorbachev at the summit for the nuclear war summit, which I loved. That The Brink of War. I loved that trip.
I think could potentially hit if it's any good. But.
Yeah, I think that could hit, or the Young Washington one.
Did you see the Angel presentation at CinemaCon or no?
I did. I sat through it. Yeah, I liked it. I was actually really surprised. Listen, I know the political angle they take. I know they're uber religious and all of that, but that doesn't mean I have to discount what they're doing. I knew Animal Farm was essentially going to be, kind of turned into bacon. I knew that. But these two films, I've kind of have an interest in to see what the public's reaction is going to be to those two movies. I know it's going to be pro-Reagan, and the Young Washington's all about our founding fathers, which is the right-wing point of view. But I want to see what they do with it because the trailers I saw have high-quality production. So I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm still not going to see Sound of Freedom, though, ever. Doug says, should Vrabel be suspended or fired? Fucking fired. 100%.
Are you insane?
Boat video now. Who knows? There's definitely one or two bigger bombs to drop.
Gives a shit. Why don't you cast Mike Vrabel as the villain in the Batman movie, okay?
No, because he can't act. Because he can't hide his villainy. Why would I cast him as a villain? No one would believe it.
Dude, you want to fire a guy because he had an affair 5 fucking years ago?
No, not 5 years ago. For 6 years straight. Might even be the father of her children, Jeff. For God's sake.
That's pretty evil that you're even saying that because you have no proof of that. Just because a woman has sex with another partner, all of a sudden he's the father of her child?
There's a lot of rumors about the timing of all that kind of stuff. People are talking about that boat video being a baby moon, that they went on a baby moon to celebrate her being pregnant with his child. So there's all kinds of shit that's going on around this stuff.
What if it is? So what if it is his child?
So that's what I mean. There's no winning with you because you'll say, so what if it was 6 years? So what if he's the father of her child? So what? He's my Patriots head coach.
He's setting a poor example for the young men on the football team? Is
that
what he's doing?
Yes, of course it is.
Like Christian morality, basically?
Yes, well, Christian, I think it's morality regardless of religion, but yes.
I think it's ridiculous. That should not cost a man his job. I think if he had an affair right now in the middle of the season, it shouldn't cost him his job. It's nobody's business but his own and his wife's. and they're going to have to sort that out. But it's a personal matter. It has nothing to do with professional anything. If one of the players had an affair, do you think that the player should get cut from the team? What are you, crazy?
That's a different situation. The player's not leading a team. Because the player's not leading a team.
What if he's the QB? What if he's the
Yeah, I had no problem with it. Tom Brady leaving Bridget Moynihan pregnant to go be with Gisele Bündchen. I didn't have an issue with that. You know why? Because the man leveled up and he's just the quarterback. He's not the head coach. The head coach is a whole nother level of responsibility that's involved in being a head coach.
The assistant coach have an affair? Like what?
Again, head coach or team owner. I don't even care if a GM has an affair. I don't give a shit. But a head coach, team owner, there are expectations. Those are the people leading your organization.
And who should fire this coach? It shouldn't be the NFL, right? Shouldn't it be up to the team owner?
Of course it should be. Up to Robert Kraft to do it.
This team owner, do you think he's forgiving it all?
I think he is right now because he got caught getting a handy at a fucking massage parlor. So, he's got his own ethics.
Aren't we lucky? I mean, Jesus, people in New England, no one gives a shit about this in New England.
I disagree.
Talking about my friend or anything because it's like this has nothing to do with football.
Okay. I think it does have a lot to do with football.
You're being a prude scold.
Well, I don't know about that. Because I think this is a different situation. If he was a regular,
if you had a friend who had an affair, would you stop being friends with that person because they had an affair?
It would depend on the situation. Your
friend's fucking horny and a hot girl throws herself at the guy at the bar.
Do I like his wife? Do I respect his wife? Am I friends with his wife?
You do. And maybe respect for your friend, but do you stop being friends with them?
I don't know, but maybe we're not as friends as friendly as we were before.
I don't judge my friends for things they do behind closed doors.
Yeah, but you're reducing this down to regular Joe on the street who works at Best Buy. This is a guy who is a public
He's not
figure.
The president. He's a fucking football coach. Who gives a shit?
Still in one of the most premier organizations in the NFL. It's ridiculous. Come on, man. WV Grad says, now that we know the deal, how about this? If there's evidence that comes out that him and Rossini did do collusion on some players and all this kind of stuff, you don't think that's an issue?
On players? What, with her inside reporter knowledge?
Yes, inside knowledge. Yes. God. All right. WV Grad says, now that we know the DWP2 opening weekend box office, does Mando make more, less, or similar money for both U.S. and worldwide box office? Well, I've seen the first 25 minutes, and I loved the first 25 minutes. So I think if the rest of the movie is as good as the first 25 minutes of the movie, I think Mando is going to overperform. I really do.
Yeah, I think it does as well, if not better, than Devil Wears Prada. Yes.
Yeah. Kenneth. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Kenneth Colton says, I won the Mortal Kombat 2 tournament and got some hot mic merchandise, but Jess showed up and took it all. Happy Friday, gentlemen. The
merch is coming. I know we've been saying that for 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah.
Long. It's available.
Okay. B. Howell 26, 2017, I was diagnosed with and beat Hodgkin's lymphoma. So rank these. Jesus Christ. Baby Driver, Logan, Get Out, Wind River, Logan Lucky, cancer-free for 9 years. Congratulations, dude.
Congratulations.
Love that, man.
You want to go first this time?
Sure, yeah. I would take Logan number 1. There's no question about that for me. Get Out probably 2. Wind River 3. Baby Driver 4, and then Logan Lucky. But all 5 of those are good movies.
That is the same number as me.
Yeah. Logan is this next level, yo. Dalen Jasonson, who do you think deserves a comeback after being blacklisted for so long? Should actors be punished for slamming their films? For example, Katherine Heigl and Monique. Well, I think actors are punished for slamming their films. Whether they should be or not is irrelevant. They just are. It's because it's biting the hand that fed you. And Heigl, especially going after the writers on Grey's Anatomy, was just career suicide.
Blacklisted for what?
Yeah, right. Exactly. You got to be specific.
Ends. I don't know that I'd advocate for him to come back, but if he did come back and he put out a movie that I wanted to see, I would have no problem watching a Kevin Spacey movie. I hate to say that, but
oof.
Kevin Spacey's a tremendous actor, so
yeah. But is he still? Do you think he still is? I don't know if he still is.
He still can be if he, was given access to a decent script, but he has to settle for garbage that's made overseas.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm always going to have a soft spot. Well, I don't know. Is Caviezel blacklisted? I feel like he is, and he's working, right? So, yeah, I feel like he's working. I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone that leaps to mind necessarily that I would feel was hard done.
Someone did ask me last night on my way to the comedy show. They're like, if I had free tickets to like Bill Cosby, would I go? And I said no.
No.
I don't think I'd be able to watch Bill Cosby like joke around on a stage for an hour and separate the art from the artist. In that case, that might be a little too tough. But for some reason, I can if Spacey was playing like a crime boss. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a fair point. I tell you this: I have caught myself on occasion watching old Cosby episodes. I mean, that's great television. I don't care what anybody says. That's still great television. And there's 20 other actors who aren't Cosby who I enjoyed on that show. So it's a tough situation when you look at it. All right, let's keep going to the next one. Fig says, "Hey guys, are you hearing any new names for the Daniels movie, or do you think this will inevitably be delayed?" Yeah, Jeff, you got cited in a few reports for saying that the reason people are turning down, or they think the reason are turning down, is because you said it's led by children, not by an adult. So
led by children or teenagers, yeah.
Teenagers, yeah.
And I think all of those rules are probably cast. Do I think? I mean, delayed from when? I don't. Does it have a release date? I don't even know if it has a release date.
I don't think so yet.
Universal's definitely been a little bit frustrated. Not just with the Jordan Peele of it all, but also with these guys. But they'll find somebody soon.
Speaking of Jordan Peele, real quick, I know this wasn't run down, but what are your thoughts on the downsizing of Monkeypaw Productions, man? Is this because he just hasn't put anything out and Universal issues and what have you? So do you think this is just his way of saying, listen, I can't pay everybody. We don't have anything going on.
Yeah, I don't know if this is his way of slimming down the overhead so that he can present, new numbers to Universal because his deal's up this summer, I believe.
Yeah.
So, if he goes to them and say, all right, well, I don't need $3 million a year this time I only need 2 or 1.5.
Right.
To cover overhead and everything. Or if he's trying to slim down in anticipation of not being renewed.
Oh, yeah.
Having to shop his deal somewhere else. So, yeah, I mean, but from what I'm told, he is making his next movie at Universal, or, he has his next movie. I believe it'll be at Universal. And I'm told it's the biggest thing he's ever done.
Wow. Well, that's great to hear. I like him putting his balls out there, man.
Nope was $68 million reportedly.
Right.
And I think that Peele's next movie will be closer in line to like the money that Coogler got for Sinners or Maggie got for The Bride, which is around 80.
Yeah, I could see that. Certainly deserves. Cartoon thoughts on the movie Bone Lake, if you've seen it yet. Have you seen it, Jeff? Bone Lake?
I did. Thumbs up on Bone Lake. I actually liked it more than I thought I would. I enjoyed. That's a good guilty pleasure.
Where's that one at? Do you know where you saw it, or is it VOD?
On Netflix.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look at it. You answer this one. I got to use the restroom real quick. Enrique Niretu says, rank these movies. 1995 movies: Heat, Braveheart, 7, Usual Suspect, Casino. Take it away.
All right. Well, here's the truth, and this one's gonna hurt, but number 5 is Braveheart. I like Braveheart, but it's not one I go back to a whole lot, even though it has 1 or 2 scenes that are like hugely rewatchable. I gotta go. Ooh, this is really tough. Heat or 7. This is you're breaking my heart. I guess I'll go. Jesus Christ, I hate you. I have to go 7. Then I'll go Heat. Then I'll go Casino. Then I'll go Usual Suspects, and then Braveheart. Heat is amazing, but 7 is just so perfect. It's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell? What am I doing here? There we go. Oh yeah. Okay. So
I
heard everything you had to say.
I want you to do this.
So yeah, a number one is absolutely 7. There's no question about it. And I'll tell you why, because the Hank Azaria storyline and the Heat is the weakest part of the movie. So there's no weakness in 7. There's no storyline, no scene, no small subplot. There's no weakness in 7.
Yeah,
it's a perfect movie.
Airtight.
Yeah. And then I would put Heat after that for sure.
Yeah.
Then I'd have to go Braveheart because I love Braveheart. I go back and watch it all the time, even though it's a historical fallacy. Then Usual Suspects, because the acting and the writing on that, whatever my feelings are about Bryan Singer and his depravity, the fucking writing and the acting in that is just excellent. And the filmmaking is phenomenal. And I put Casino last, but not because I don't think Casino's a good movie, because I've grown to love that movie. But I just think the other movies are better made overall than Casino.
Usual Suspects is also impeccable. Casino, though, there's just something with him and Sharon Stone. I'm just like, this is something Usual Suspects doesn't have.
Yeah, I agree. Still, that Pesci ending is, oh my God.
Brutal.
I never feel like just utterly, even though he's a murdering madman, I still feel sympathy for him in that.
Oh yeah.
Brutal. Wiley OFC sending support. Thank you, Wiley. On Wangers, they said they should make a Jackass biopic. I really like the idea. I've been thinking about it a lot. That could be fun for sure. To do a biopic on how they made these
Jackass. Bunch of young guys playing Knoxville and Bam and all those guys. And
I don't think you could get away with it though, Jeff, because there's been drama between those guys. What would be the legal ramifications of you showing the battles they had? I think Bam or what, like one of them sued the other one, doesn't want to be part of it anymore. So
have to wait like 20 years to do it. I just don't think right now is the time for that movie, but it's not a terrible idea.
Yeah. But I like the new trailer for the new Jackass. It looks like a lot of fun. Enrique Neratu says, who do you think is a better filmmaker and what makes them better? Fincher or PTA, and who made the best film out of their combined filmography? Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I think it's Fincher, and I think it's 7.
I have to go PTA and There Will Be Blood. But because I just think Fincher, there's a couple of questionable ones on Fincher's, and I have no... Well, I guess I do have some, right? Because I don't like Inherent Vice, and I fucking hated Licorice Pizza. Maybe you're right. How this? I'll split the difference. I think Fincher is arguably the better filmmaker, but I think There Will Be Blood is the best film out of all their filmographies. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think Fincher is the more consistently good filmmaker, which is what makes them better, in my opinion. Cartoon 49. Rank these 5 in 2009. Avatar, Hurt Locker, Inglourious Bastards, The Hangover, and District 9. Ooh.
Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Hurt Locker.
Sure. Agreed.
Hangover, Avatar, District 9.
I would put District 9 above Avatar, but everything else is correct. I agree with you on that countdown. Inglourious just gets better the older you get. There's just so much to enjoy. It's
Hangover
a fucking meal.
Number 2, but
really, yeah.
Hangover's
over Hurt
really
Locker.
Great.
Okay,
maybe.
Hangover's like the Matrix of comedy movies. Like the other two just weren't as good because they were just copying one because one is so goddamn good. Yeah. Luke Nelson, can't ignore being called out. Oh, we already answered that one. Thank you, Luke. Sonic fan, I have real problems with the Barrera interview, Maine, with how she referred to those who she said called her anti-Semitic as those people. And she claims that their stance is completely wrong. Well, listen, she's entitled to her opinion. And I don't think she was saying those people like in a racist way. I think she was just saying those people over there who don't believe as I believe. But yeah, called their stance is completely wrong. She's entitled to her opinion. But what are your thoughts on this, Joe?
I don't really, when she said those people, I wasn't like, oh, me? I'm those people? I mean, listen, the whole interview was problematic without getting into the Israel-Palestine of it all.
Yeah. That's saying something when everything except that. Cartoon 49, thoughts on Mark Ruffalo saying that Hollywood stars declined to sign letter against the Paramount WB merger because of fear of being blacklisted by the studio. I don't spot the lie.
Maybe they just don't agree with everything you're saying, Mark Ruffalo.
Look, it's very possible they didn't want to sign it because they don't have a problem with the merger. But I think it is possible that some people didn't sign because they knew it might go back on them. Again, like Melissa Barrera.
Be very careful what you wish for, Mark Ruffalo, because if this merger doesn't go through, who knows who's going to wind up with Warner Brothers? Maybe Elon Musk will buy it. What then? What then? You'd be begging David Ellison to have it over Elon Musk, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you, Mark Ruffalo? So be careful there, Mark Ruffalo.
Listen, I think he's got a right to fight this thing and make his voice be heard.
Fight all you want, Mark Ruffalo. But Mark Ruffalo, who's on the other side?
Yeah, it's dangerous. But whatever, you got to fight, Jeff. You can't just sit down and take it and bend the knee. God
Great, fight. But then are we going to keep fighting whoever's next? The next billionaire, Elon Musk?
I think Ted should swoop in after they're done with it. Matt Sister McCall says, did the one scene in Incendies hit hard? Been reading the blog, Jeff. Love #Sky King, but I also liked Hokum. The TV scene hit hard. Why did you not like it? Oh, you didn't like Hokum? I'm seeing a lot of positive reviews on that one.
Hokum was garbage.
Wow.
The TV scene? Is that the scene where we see the donkey character or that weird character with the eyes? I like. I didn't see it. Yeah, I don't know. The movie added up to nothing. It was garbage. Incendies was excellent. Yeah, I was not anticipating that going where it went. I guess the only thing I can kind of compare it to is Old Boy in a way.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But yeah, it was great. And yeah, Sky King. Got to watch Sky King on Hulu. Great documentary.
Okay.
Don't believe these people. What are you people seeing? Why do horror fans why are they the easiest lays on the planet? This movie is Hokum. Adam Scott. I'm talking about Adam Scott. This guy's a good comedic director.
Okay.
A good comedic actor. And he's good in a dramatic role in Severance. Yeah. But I don't like him as a dramatic actor on the big screen. And in this movie, let me tell you something. He's playing an unrepentant asshole. Why? I have no idea. Why couldn't he be likable? I don't know. They had to make this character the biggest asshole with zero redeeming qualities. We're not rooting for him at all. I don't care what happens to him. It's a very unique approach to screenwriting.
Okay. Sonic Fan says, Barrera claims she's against hate, but never says anything about the Bondi Beach massacre or what's happened to Jews in Britain or New York recently, and only ever talks about the Palestine said, which, to be clear, what's happening in Palestine is awful, but is no excuse for it's happening to Jewish communities right now. For what's happening to Jewish communities right now. My best friend is afraid to leave her house because she could get attacked. Sonic, this isn't the venue for this, but I respect that you want to send in money and talk about this. But what do you expect us to do? We're not going to go in and analyze what's going on over there and go deep into this conversation. But I respect you sending money in, Jeff. What do you want to say about that?
I just don't really, obviously I have a lot of learning to do, but I don't really feel like the Jews are aggressors. I feel like it's a real don't fuck with the Jews situation. The Jews get fucked with, then they retaliate in with way more force, kind of like me. Where they just maybe they're going overboard. I get that. But I don't think it was just total peace, and then Israel decided to push.
Yeah. Again, it's the reason I don't chime in on this is because it's such a complex situation with a lot of moving parts to it. Yes, the genocide, it was horrible to see that kind of stuff. I don't want any innocent lives lost, but this is a much more complex situation than one side or the other side. It's a lot of historical, and it goes back to the fucking Bible, for God's sake. Lico Bay says, Jeff, you heard a while ago Plastic Man in Lanterns. Is that still true?
I don't remember that.
Okay. All right.
Did I say that? I feel like people are just say stuff like that, and so that I can be like, oh yeah, I did say. I don't remember that.
I don't remember you saying that either. That Shadow 790. Matthew Lillard for Toyman in Superman Man of Tomorrow. Maybe.
Toyman. Do you think I know who Toyman is?
Yeah, Jeff doesn't know. I can see it.
Yeah. I thought he was going to play the Shaggy Man. There is a character known as the Shaggy Man.
He was so wasted in Daredevil this season. I guess he was just collecting a paycheck, but he's such a good actor. What a waste of time for him to do that show. Cartoon 40, thoughts on Tony trailers and others this week? Yeah, the Tony trailer I thought was great. The Anthony Bourdain trailer with Dominic Sessa, I thought that was great. What did you think, Jeff?
It was a great trailer because it's set to a great song. I downloaded the song. It's Wild by Spoon. Great
Spoon's
song.
good.
But yeah, I've heard the movie's just okay, and I could see some of that maybe a little bit. I think Antonio Banderas will be great though. He
looks so good in this. I watched it with the Lady Outlaw, who is a very big devotee of Anthony Bourdain, and she was like, "Okay, they embellished this, they kind of combined this. This isn't 100% what really." So that was kind of interesting to see her watch the trailer.
I thought you were going to tell me that Mrs. Outlaw was a big devotee of Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, well, that too. She does love Antonio. She loves her Latinos. What can I tell you? Andrew Brown 9981 says, with the live action Gundam announcement, are you going to see Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway, the Sorcery of Nymph Circe on May 15th? Save any. I'm not. Are you, Jeff? Are you going to see some live action Gundam? Are you in on this?
An actual thing. Why is Hathaway mentioned? She's not in this.
No, it's the name of the show.
Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway is the name of a show? Yes. I thought that was like the name of a law firm. Like we file mobile suits. We're Gundam Hathaway.
What's the guy who played for you guys? Javaris Ben Ellis. What was his name?
This might as well be in another language, Andrew. I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks for your
money. There you go. Wiley says, I love Bond deeply. I think Elordi would be the most different Bond we've ever had. Plus, out of all the names besides Idris, I like him the best. Yeah.
Idris Elba?
He's too old to do it. But
Idris Elba? The guy from Hijack? No. The guy from Masters of the Universe? No. Can't be talking about the same thing.
Yeah. Greg, third down 46. What horror movie is going to be this year's Weapon or Sinners? Well, not Hokum, apparently.
I mean,
Resident Evil. Is it Resident Evil? That's just the odds-on choice, right? Yeah.
Evil Dead is going to do well, I think.
I talked to someone who saw it, who's a fan of ours, who watches our show. I ran into him at CinemaCon. He was only there for the day, and he told me that he'd seen an early screening at one of those, where they hand out flyers and you go. And he said it was not good. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
Oh, maybe not. All right.
I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see. Because I like the trailer. The trailer's fucked up.
Your one friend, and that's it. Gets the final.
He's not a friend. He watches our show as a fan. Doug, hey guys, in your years of being a critic, when did you get the most shit online for liking a movie that is generally disliked and vice versa? Well, don't tell Jeff. Jeff's not a critic, according to his mind, even though he writes reviews. When did you get the most shit online for liking a movie that's generally disliked? Probably Quantumania. I like Quantumania. I've watched it 4 times, and I enjoy the shit out of that movie. Or I guess the Transformers movies. The Transformers movies always. I get the most shit for liking those movies. So that's the answer for that one.
I get the most shit for movies I like, but I don't love, and I'm supposed to love them. And if you don't love them, then you're racist. So,
Jesus, what's your upset? For a guy who says we should stop talking about racism, you brought it up 4 times in this show. Just so we're clear, you're the one bringing it up.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. For disliking a movie. Oh, probably Aquaman. Oh my God, Kalinowski went after me for not liking Aquaman. So crazy. He went crazy about it online. I think. Way back when. Oh, mostly because I said what James Wan was painting by numbers when he made that movie as a director, which people did not like. Wayne Edwards says, Happy Friday, gents. What's up, Wayne? Jeff, I finished The Beauty and Hijack. I really enjoyed both shows. Both had blah endings, though. There was way too much amazing TV out there, especially on Apple TV. Margot Has Money Troubles is good. Yeah, a lot of people liking that show, Jeff.
Margot is really good. I agree. Everybody's quite good. The Beauty, I understand how maybe you think it petered out a little bit. I think that's because it's saving so much for season 2. I think if that had just been like a limited series, it would have been a lot stronger. Hijack season 2 was just weak, and it got worse as it went along. So yes, you're right about that blah ending. Absolutely. There's a lot of good TV coming though.
Yeah. I can't wait. You've watched all of it?
Dude, I've seen all of Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed. I've seen 6 episodes of Cape Fear. I've seen them a lot.
Is that good? New trailer look good.
Hey, you're trying to get me to break embargo? You're trying to bait me?
Sorry, I didn't know. Again, I can't get into my account, so I don't know when the embargo dates are. So shit. Master McCall says, in 2000, I started kindergarten for the second time. These 5 2000 movies. American Psycho, Requiem for a Dream, The Patriot, Battle Royale, and Gladiator. Ooh.
Johnny boy, you want to go first?
Gladiator, Battle Royale, Requiem for a Dream, American Psycho, The Patriot. There you go. That's my answers.
Yeah. Requiem for a Dream is definitely number 1.
Wow.
I will go American Psycho 2, Gladiator 3, Battle Royale 4, Patriot 5.
Patriot, it's not my jam, man.
No, me neither. But Requiem is by far and away the best one.
It's just because it's so fucking depressing. It's like your love for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I can only see that movie once every 10 years. It's too depressing.
It's tough.
Yeah. D. Souse's favorite Bond movie that's not a Daniel Craig film. My two are GoldenEye and From Russia with Love. Love the show. Yeah, I guess.
No. I pass on this question. I don't have any favorite Bond movies that aren't Daniel Craig.
Okay. I would agree with that. But I do like From Russia with Love, so I'll give. And I like Moonraker, but not as a great movie, just as a guilty pleasure. Michael McKenzie, what do you think will be the higher RT score this year? Tony or Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie? Either way, this is a good Matt Johnson year.
Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, I think. Okay. I mean, I don't know what its Rotten Tomatoes score is. I should probably look that up before.
I think it's pretty high, isn't it? Because, I mean, people were very positive about this movie.
Again, I've heard Tony, it's a little bit of a mismatch between director and material, so we'll see.
Okay. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie is at 98% with critics and 95% with audience.
Tony, sorry.
Yeah. D-Sal, I have an amazing mom who raised me right. Rate these horrible movie moms from best to worst mom. Okay. Monique and Precious, Joan Crawford, obviously from Joan Crawford. All right. Mrs. Voorhees, Margaret White, Serial Mom. Oh my God.
All right. The best mom was Serial Mom.
Yes, I agree. Kathleen Turner was great in that. Yeah.
Second best mom to have was Mrs. Voorhees. The third best mom to have was probably Monique.
Oof, really? Okay.
The fourth is probably Joan Crawford, and the fifth is Margaret White. I don't want to have Margaret White as my mother. I can't deal with like religious freaks. If she's going to be like Jesus this, Jesus that, that's going to be even worse than whatever Monique comes up with in Precious.
Yeah, especially because you're Jewish. So she's really going to have it in for you. About the
I don't know those Bible thumping types. Like Monique wasn't thumping no Bible. She was thumping her daughter. She was just like beating on her. She wasn't
true.
Thumping a Bible. So I'll take that. I'd rather catch a beating than a sermon.
Mine is different because I am Christian, so I could handle Margaret White a little bit easier. I would say Monique is the worst just because I don't believe in beating your children. Joan Crawford was pretty fucking bad.
Dude, I got beat and we're fine.
Yeah, we're totally fine. You're so right. Mrs. Voorhees, I mean, I'm not a fan of her killing innocent kids all over the camp for revenge for something that happened
She was
decades ago.
The kind of mother I want if I was killed by some lazy counselors. I'd want her to avenge my death and kill him.
Yeah, maybe, I guess. Karen says, did you guys like the new Evil Dead Burn trailer? I did, because it fucking scared the shit out of me. Jeff?
It was okay, but it actually paled in comparison, I thought, to what we saw at CinemaCon.
Oh, fair point. I guess that's what I'm mixing it with. Like the CinemaCon stuff was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, looked much better at CinemaCon.
That's true. You guys haven't seen the full footage yet. Joyce Romer, were you surprised Master Docky made it so far and Maul Shadow Lord? Or did his demise come perfectly? I thought he was dead since episode 2. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. What a phenomenal ending. And you essentially underlined the evilness of Maul. No matter what emotional shit he went through in episode 8, he's still very much the selfish guy. Doug says, Rocha, you said on Christian's show that Julia deserved her Oscar win. Sorry, in my opinion, Ellen Burstyn was robbed in Requiem for a Dream. That red dress monologue. I mean, yes, you could argue that she deserved it just as much. But I don't know.
Yeah, she was great in Requiem, but I have no problem with Julia winning for Erin Brockovich.
Yeah, she was a fucking dynamo in that movie. And that was something she'd never done before. Whereas with Burstyn, I'd seen her be that level of great before. And so, but either way, I think either way would have been fun. They're both equally deserving. Matt Sister McCall, my biggest hot takes. Evil Dead 2003 is way better than number 1 and 2. Poltergeist and Forrest Gump are bad and overrated. Name some of your hot takes. Ooh. Jeff, what's your limit today, man? We're running out of time here. We got more questions. What's your limit today?
I mean, I got Netflix sent me tickets to Mulaney.
Okay.
Relatively soon, but
let's power through these. What are some of your hot takes? Got anything?
I got so many hot takes. Die Hard 3 is as good as the original.
Oh, that's a strong one. I agree with that. That's a strong one. And I don't agree with your points of view, but I agree that's a hot take. I don't know if I have any hot takes. Transformers movies are great. That's my hot take. John Ashford, thoughts on Kierna Kilcher suing Jimmy Cameron for the use of her likeness on Avatar? This seemed to come out of left field, Jeff. It seems like a weird thing.
Waiting a long time to file this lawsuit seemed a bit of a stretch. Probably just hoping for a settlement. Seemed a little desperate.
Yeah, I wonder if there's some inside information that came in handy and she used it at this time. Greg, guys, in your opinion, what's the worst movie snub ever in Oscar history? My pick is The Color Purple in 1986. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Gyllenhaal, Nightcrawler.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. Logan wasn't nominated for Best Picture, right? So I would say Logan. That was a hell of a snub for me. WV, and I also think Jim Carrey not being nominated for Eternal Sunshine. He's never going to deliver a better performance in his entire career, and he should have been nominated for that. WV Grad, The Power Sword is a huge theater cup for He-Man. Oh, nice. All right, I'll take a look at that. 28 Vasco, Sky King is fantastic. I had actually just flown into SeaTac a few hours before it happened.
Power Sword! Power Sword!
You kept it? You kept it? I donated that as soon as we left the theater, man.
Kidding me? I kept it. I put it on my ass every night.
Okay. All right. Enrique Neritu. Okay, fellas, who is a better director and what makes them better? Tarantino or Fincher, and who is the best film in combined filmography? I mean, it has to be Tarantino, Jeff. There isn't a bad movie in his entire list.
Yeah, I got to go Tarantino.
Right? There just isn't a bad movie.
What makes them better, though? Maybe the use of music.
Yeah, I think his scripts. I think the writing is just impeccable in Tarantino movies. You know, even if you have an issue with the N-word, I don't think
Tarantino could make a movie as boring as Mank.
How dare you? Mank's a good fucking movie. You just didn't like it.
Sorry.
Ugh, you're insane. Cartoon for RIP Ted Turner. Right. Thank you for TNT and TCM.
AT!
And the Atlanta Braves and CNN, I would say.
Are you going to the funeral?
I don't know. Is the funeral in San Diego? Then I'm not going.
Starts at 7:05.
Oh, Jeff. There you go. There you go, Jeff. Doug says, did Draymond cross the line by saying to Chuck, the goal is to not look like you in a Houston Rockets uniform, or are we being too soft? Fuck no. Draymond's a moron. Draymond is an absolute moron. Charles's numbers were better than Draymond's numbers when Charles was in the Rockets uniform. And I think Austin Rivers is 100% right. Draymond Green was a product of the system that Steve Kerr put in place, and being surrounded by all those great players, he managed to get himself into the Hall of Fame. I think Austin is right with every criticism of Draymond.
When Charles Barkley is our next president, he should throw Draymond Green in a detention camp.
Oh, Jesus. Alan Smithy, Requiem for a Dream over Gladiator? Jeff, that movie is supposed to discourage you from being on drugs, not encourage you from being on drugs.
Yes, Requiem for a Dream over Gladiator. Gladiator's overrated.
Oh, cut it out! Cut it out.
Is overrated. No one's starting You talk about Russell Crowe. You talk about The Insider. You talk about L.A. Confidential. I'm not talking about fucking Gladiator when I bring that guy up.
Wow. Beautiful Mind over Gladiator?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Caltrick, do you guys think it's hypocritical for people to be hyped when Matt Reeves is active on Twitter and responding to fans, but it's the end of the world when Gunn does it? No.
You go.
It's how you do it. Just like everything in life, it is how you do it. The execution of the act is always important. Did you see what Matt Reeves did? Just one line. He didn't talk about Lincoln's assassination. He had one line, 2 pictures, rolled the fuck on out of there. There's a difference.
When you're quiet on social media and you only come when you have something to say or something to share, right? That's how you get people excited. When you're on fucking social media every day, you're going to stick your foot in your mouth eventually. Like,
yeah.
Gunn should be taking notes from Matt Reeves on how to use social media.
100% agree. 100% agree. All right, let's get these Streamlabs and we're rolling out of here. SL says, I'm a little concerned. We haven't heard anything official from Universal yet on the next Jurassic sequel. Most seem to think it's going to have a 2028 release, but should Jurassic fans be concerned over the lack of official word on the studio? Jeff, should they be concerned?
I mean, I was surprised they didn't mention it at CinemaCon, especially with
Ditto.
the fact that I've heard that Gareth is coming back. I still hear that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, especially with Scarlett even just like announcing that Ari Aster movie this week.
Yeah.
You know, she's not doing this after Batman. When is she doing Jurassic? Next year? Probably.
Yeah, good point. S also says, thoughts on Warner Brothers Clockwork doing an uncut restoration of The Devils as their first repertory release. What more restoration released of a classic cult classic WB film should they also do? Also, what do you think of The Devils if you've seen it? I've never seen it. I don't even know what it is. I know Robert Meyer Burnett was losing his mind about this and thought it was great, but I don't know anything about it.
Like I've been reading about from film nerds for the last 20 years about Ken Russell's The Devils and blah, 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 blah. I'm down to check it out, but like this did not move the needle for me one way or the other. It's a weird like reason to start a label so that we can put out a new version of The Devils.
Yeah.
But whatever, nice to know that that's part of the plan, that there will be money for these restorations and things.
Yeah, I don't know that there's anything that I would necessarily want to restore and put out again. So I can't answer that question as strongly as I would like to.
I went down a rabbit hole this week.
Okay.
Of Radiance Films. You know what Radiance Films is?
I may have remembered that at some point, but I don't right now.
They put out like these cult movie DVDs and foreign films and stuff like that. So I went through their whole catalog. It was up to like 2 a.m. one night looking at it, and I got a DVD.
You got a DVD?
The Cat.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And it's a heist movie.
Okay.
Where the real mastermind is like watching everything unfold from across the street.
Oh, interesting.
That's all I know about it. I'm going to check it out in the next week. I got sidetracked by all the Netflix's Joke Fest stuff, but I'm going to let you know if it's good because Radiance Films, a very interesting website.
Okay, I'm on there right now. Some interesting choices here. Okay. All right.
I was led there reading an interview with Jordan Harper. Harper, author who wrote She Rides Shotgun, that Taron Egerton movie.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
He has a new novel out called A Violent Masterpiece, and he referenced writing like liner notes for one of these Radiance like releases, like an Asian crime movie. I forget what it's called.
But did you get this shipped from Britain?
I found a copy on Amazon. Like,
okay.
Tough to find this stuff.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the Tokyo Godfather trilogy or the Japanese Godfather trilogy, and I've heard a lot about that one. So that might be my entry point. If you got a Japanese movie on your list, that's my entry point to anything. Fantastic. What's up, Hot Mike? Anyone who's had to deal with lawyers know they are horrible bloodsuckers. Just ask Baldoni and Lively. Rank these 5 cinematic vampire actors: Christopher Lee, Keanu Reeves, Wesley Snipes, George Hamilton. Yeah, Love at First Bite, and Tom Cruise.
Wesley Snipes.
When was Keanu a vampire? In Dracula? Was he turned in Dracula?
Yes. I was going to say Wesley Snipes, Christopher Lee, Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, and the last guy.
I have to agree with that. Yeah. As much as I love Love at First Bite as a closet 80s favorite, he's not better than those 4 other guys. As I said, let's play a game of what if. If Paramount successfully buys Warner Brothers, and if it's not where James Gunn wants to be anymore, should Matt Reeves take over and combine the two universes? Should James go be the heir apparent to Marvel or go to Sony for Spidey? I don't think Feige would ever let James come in to be his heir apparent. Let me just put that on the table. And I don't think Matt Reeves wants to take over DC at all. I think he likes being able to do what he does and stay out of the firing line. What do you think of this?
Point for sure. Like after Matt does his Batman trilogy, I don't want any more comic book movies from him. Yeah, like get out of there. Go do
He's rolling out.
And I don't really understand this. Like, you know, once you run a comic book universe, like you have to keep running it for the rest of your career or some other one. Like, I don't know. I don't want James Gunn to move to Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you could argue that it's actually restricted his growth as a filmmaker to stay in this superhero box forever. You know. SL also says, last one here. Any director you've heard Marvel is eyeing after Schreier and Coogler, since the studio is trying to regain trust with the general audiences, would they hire more pros like Raimi and Shakman, kind of similar to their process in Phase 1 with Joe Johnston and Jon Favreau? I would think so, Jeff. They want to look for more experienced pros that are still edgy to see what they can do. I would think so. What do you think?
I think that if you look very closely at your screen right now,
oh my God,
you may find a director who would be a good fit from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Do you have any idea about?
If I look at my screen right now really hard, the guy who's directing, Travis Knight. Are you saying Travis Knight? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, don't you think Travis Knight would be a very interesting addition to the MCU?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. I would co-sign that 100, whatever he wanted to do.
I'm full of good ideas, for I am the Insnider, and that is why you subscribe to the newsletter, www.theinsnider.com.
There you go. Let's wrap it up. Follow him there. Follow me at The Rocha Says on all social media. Please remember to subscribe to the channel down below. And we are a podcast. Subscribe to the podcast as well in case you want to hear our stuff down the road and you don't want to see our pretty faces. All right, Jeff, have a great weekend. A great weekend, everybody, as well. Enjoy yourselves. Go see a movie. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode here of The Hot Mic. Peace.